So first I'm going to tell you how I would approach this. Okay. Now I'm somebody who's had one job in my life. No, I've done my internships, but I wouldn't count them. I've done one job in my life. Okay. I've never been a job person, but I appreciate jobs. It's not like I'm the kind of snob who will say, "Oh my God, you're going for a job. You want to be a slave." Oh my God. No, I respect jobs. I think without jobs, none of us can do our own work without other people helping us. So it's fantastic. It's great. But I will tell you a story about how I did something uh, not related to a job, but related to a course. Okay. And how I got into that university. Now, education jobs are similar in the sense that they interview you for skill and knowledge and ability and see how good you are at what you do. So I will tell you about that, and I'll tell you how I manifested that, and break down the principles that you can apply for the job as well. Okay. Wow, lots of people with the job thing. Okay. So when it comes to manifesting a job, let's say I wanted to manifest a job, I would work on two things primarily. Okay. One is I would pivot my thoughts into what I want as though I was just born. Okay. Meaning I will not carry the past into my future, because as long as you hold on to the past and you're coming with this heaviness of not, being rejected in the past, or, feeling that you're not good enough, or carrying all of that heaviness from the past, if you carry that into your interviews, whether you're good or not, your fear or your insecurity will overshadow your skill. Okay, take it from someone who's been really good at what I do for so long, but never won anything, never got the opportunity because my insecurity overshadowed my skill. Okay, so the first thing I would work on is my energy, assuming that I'm just born. This is my first day on planet Earth. Now, what do I want to create? Okay. So don't create from the past. Always create as though you're just born. Okay. New moment, new moment, new moment. And ask yourself, what are the positive reasons why I would love this job? Positive reasons, not I want this job because I'm scared of being bankrupt, or I want this job because I have to support my family. And if I don't get this job, then they're going to be suffering. And if you manifest like that, nothing in this universe will help you, because you get the essence of what you focus on. So if you're asking for a job but your focus is on the fact that you don't have it, or the fear of not getting it, or the desperation, law of attraction will give you the essence of what you're asking for. So this is where 99.9999999% of you guys will be making the mistake, because you're asking for a job, but the reason for you to have the job is from fear, from negativity, from judgment and resistance to your current situation. And what you focus on, you fuel. So, law of attraction, you get the essence of what you focus on. So, if you're asking for a job, but your energy is in the fact that if you don't get it, then this will happen, that will happen, my family will. Don't do that. Okay. Im- Ask for positives. Look for positive reasons why you want that job. It should not be because I'm scared, or if I don't. No, positive reasons is I would love to create this job because I love the feeling of having purpose, because I love the feeling of seeing a happy family, because I love the feeling of financial security, because I love the feeling of. So now you're not in the vibration of, oh, but if I don't get. Who taught you that? Like, who taught you that? This is the wrong way of doing it. Okay. The right way of doing it is acting from the moment and pivoting your thoughts into what you want and positive reasons why. So I would completely shift my energy around the job. Okay. First, the second thing I would do is I would pull up my socks when it comes to my own self-worth. Okay, I would look for reasons why I should feel confident about getting the job. So what makes me worthy of this job? Well, I'm really good at what I do. I have a bright personality. I have the ability to learn and grow. So when you build your vibration and you're focused on what makes you amazing, that energy will translate into the people, because if you focus on what makes you amazing, then your energy and the way you behave will reflect your thoughts. Not to be overconfident and obnoxious, but to be in a very relaxed confidence, and not in trying to convince yourself or something. Just look at the facts. Look at the time, like go back. I used to do this. So when I started coaching, before I was teaching mindfulness and all that, I used to make my clients do this exercise where they would go back in their past and don't carry all the negatives from your past into the future. Drop all of that. But if you had times in your past where you excelled at something and you did well, make a list of that and make a list of how you felt about that, and then honor that feeling. Put that in your body, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of I can do anything I put my mind to, the sense of I'm actually really valuable and I'm actually really good at what I do. So you're focusing on, building belief in your own ability to excel in something. Then that again translates in the way you behave, when you shake their hand, when you walk into the interview, the way you speak, your demeanor, everything reflects your confidence. Because and you can use whatever reasons. You can say I get this job because I'm willing to learn and grow. So building reasons within yourself to feel confident and building positive reasons why you want to achieve it, right? Why you positive reasons why you'd love to attract that puts you in the vortex energy. You are now in the energy of receiving what you're asking for. Okay. Now that is one thing I would do. Another thing I would do is I would not put, like I get these emails that say, ma'am, you're my last hope. You're my only hope. And sometimes I'm like, what could have happened in that person's life that they actually believe that one job is the only thing that is keeping them alive when there's no other opportunities for them in life? It's a belief. Law of attraction works on your every thought. Okay. Every thought. So don't go into one job expecting that job to be the job, because if you're asking for a place where you're enjoying yourself, you're passionate, and you go for a certain interview and you are in alignment, but you don't get that job, is because it's not the your higher self knows a lot more than your ego self. It may not be in exact alignment to what you asked, right? Sometimes you get so enamored by the package or you get so enamored by the work culture that you don't see the what's under the surface. There might be something in that space that is not in alignment to what you're asking for. So don't get discouraged because you weren't able to, because you got rejected in the past. Jack Ma, Jack Ma, Alibaba, right? The CEO of Alibaba, he was rejected like 100 times, and today he's one of the richest men in the world. And you get discouraged by getting rejected by one or two interviews? Like, of course not. So don't, if something works out, fantastic. If it doesn't, say somehow, somewhere it's going to come. I'm excited to see which one it is. I'm excited. So pivot your thoughts around the job interview. Okay. So when you go there, you're in a relaxed place. This one or something better, this one or something better, this one or something better. So you're just attracting either this shows up or something better shows up. Okay. So your energy must be in alignment to what you're asking for before you go into it. So even if you didn't get it, it doesn't mean that you're never going to get your dream job. You'll get something way better. For example, I applied for Mind Valley, okay, long time back, when my ex-boss told me to apply for Mind Valley because they thought I'd be perfect for it. This is before, I took my career extremely seriously and before I started earning at the capacity that I do. At the time, I was like kind of looking for something. I was not in the best place. I didn't know about the opportunities I have in my own field. So my ex-boss suggested that I go for Mind Valley. Now, Mind Valley is looking for young people who have a good command over the English language, who have a lot of knowledge on personal development modalities and tools, who have a lot of knowledge on public speaking and training and teaching people, who can connect to all age groups. Basically, Mind Valley is looking for someone just like me, but they rejected me. Okay, I spent I think 1.5 months on the resume. It was a video resume where you talk about yourself and talk about all that you do. And I made like a beautiful resume, and they rejected me. At the time, at the time I don't know if I was disappointed, but I was kind of annoyed at my ex-boss because he was kind of like, oh, the job is yours, who would not want to hire you? You have all this knowledge. You have, because I wrote some books for my ex-boss, right? So I had all that at the age of 23. So they're like, who would not want to hire this person? But I got rejected. But now, fast forward so many years, had I actually got into Mind Valley, you guys would have never heard of me. I would never be doing this. I would never have started Synchroshakti Academy and gotten this community and built my own, my own community, which is what feeds my soul. I would have not done any of this, right? So and obviously earning potential and passion and the love. I mean, I work almost sometimes 18 to 20 hours a day out of passion. 90% of what I work for, I don't get paid for. Like right now, I'm working for you guys. You guys haven't paid me for this session. And I'm giving you more information here than you would pay for in a paid course, right? But I do it because I have passion for it. I wouldn't have ever discovered this or done what I love to do had I actually gotten into mind value, right? So sometimes you have to trust the path and know that just because someone rejected you in the past does not mean that you don't have value, does not mean that you're not good enough to do the job that you want to do. It just means that this one or something better. Okay. So your energy, even around rejection, should be one of excitement and opportunity. So one is aligning your energy, right? You want to do that before you get into the job interview so that no matter what happens, your energy is still up, your vibration is still up. Finding positive things. So like if you get nervous there, look for, just listen to the person's conversation, look for a plant, look for the window. So you just, you're more in the moment than in the chaos of your mind. Basically be mindful. Okay. Be mindful and pivot your thoughts. Now you have the second part of getting a job, and that is skill and knowledge. If you don't have skills and knowledge, you're basically doing your customers of whatever job you do, you're doing them a disservice. Okay. Now, many of you and myself included, there are many times we call up some customer care or we call up some hospital receptionist or we call up someone, and these guys could not be bothered about their job. All they want is the job and the money. That's it. And the money is like some basic amount of money. They don't care about their skills. They don't care about, how good they are or anything. They just have the job and they'll just be like this half-hearted attitude, and their salary reflects their half-hearted attitude. I don't want you guys to be one of those guys. Okay. your co- your When you are representing a company, you want to show up at the to the company as someone that they'll be proud to hire, meaning you should have the skills and the desire to pay it forward, meaning don't just make it into a job for money. Money is irrelevant. Money will come anyway whether you get a job or not. There are a million ways of making money in today's world, million and one. Okay. Money is not the problem. If you open up to money, you'll find multiple ways of making it. You should be applying for something because you have passion for it. Otherwise, you'll burn out very, very quickly. Okay. So you also want to look at it from the perspective of, can I find joy in what I'm doing? So when you have that passion, people will sense that the person who's, you know, you would be, it's like almost like you are interviewing the company instead of the company interviewing you, because your passion and your skill and your knowledge on the subject is what these guys need. So you don't speak to them condescendingly, like they're below you. You speak to them with a calm reassurance, calm confidence, and they will pick that up, especially when your skills reflect it, especially when you speak confidently, smartly. A lot of people overlook these tiny things like, what was your 10th grade marks or something, depending on the industry you're in. But a lot of it does depend on your personal energy and your skill, your knowledge on the subject matter that they are looking to hire you for. This is very important. Don't just be in it to just get the job. Be there to service that company. That kind of energy does translate into them wanting to hire you. This is my opinion of it. Okay. Um, it's totally up to you to take whatever resonates with you, but I will tell you a personal story about me getting into this course. So this was some university. I don't know whether it was Perth. I don't remember. It was some Australian university, very, very well-known university. This was many years ago. I This was for a master's in psychology degree in Australia because I wanted to get the hell out of India at the time. And I just wanted to live alone and I wanted to have my own life and, all of these. Must have been like 5, 6 years ago. And I go for the interview. Okay, we had like this interview thing, but not interview, we had application. And I go for the application, and it says clearly there that you need a diploma in psychology in order for you to qualify to write that application. Diploma in psychology. I did not have a diploma. I had a master's degree in psychology, but that was a bachelor's degree. I did not have, sorry, I didn't have a master's degree. I had a major, psychology major, and it was a bachelor's degree. I did not have a master's degree, and I did not have a diploma in psychology. That is the basic requirement for this particular course. But I spoke to the representatives, I had a conversation with them, and they asked me to apply just in case that, you never know. They asked me to apply. I got a call back and said that, okay, we're going to set up an interview, with you. So at the interview, the first thing they asked me is about my diploma on psychology. And I told them this was like a nice old Santa Claus looking man, very sweet looking old man. He was standing, he and I think there's a bunch of other people who were like the head of the psychology department in that university. We were having the Skype interview, and he asked me about the diploma thing, and I said I don't have it. And they were visibly like, okay, what are we doing in this interview? But they continued, and they asked me this question about, do you think coaches need coaches? Okay. Do you think that every coach needs another coach? And so I answered that question based on my perception, and it was not a textbook answer. It was based on my actual experience as a coach and as someone who loves mentorship and loves learning grow. I gave them an answer. I spoke about my experiences. I spoke about my life. I spoke about things that I had mastered and the skills that I had, and not from a place of I'm showing off, but from a very calm, genuine place. I spoke, and they told me they'll get back to me. And the duration for that course for you to get selected, first of all, I didn't meet the requirement, but the duration for me to get selected, even if they decided to, was 20 days. They've told me that it would take me 20 days for them to speak to me. It was 2 hours, and I got the letter and I got accepted into the university. It was many years ago. I can't remember which university it was, Perth, because I applied to like several of them, but I got into the university. Of course, at the time I realized, I don't believe so much in education, and I don't believe in all of these things because I have a different path. For a lot of people, it is helpful to do high studies and MBA and all of that. It wasn't my path. So I dropped it. I didn't want the debt of, 500,000 rupees up on a sword above my head at the time because it's pretty expensive. But long story short, I got it even though I didn't even meet the basic requirement, but they said we want more people like you in our campus. We want more people like you in our university. Why me? Because I stood out of the crowd. I wasn't here doing this, just trying to give them answers that they wanted. I was just being authentic and genuine. Some people will like that, some people will not. But the ones you're trying to attract are people who are your tribe. So essentially, these are the two things I would say: skill and knowledge in the field that you're applying to, and your personal energy around it. Create from the place of just being born. Okay. If you want to live abroad, think about living abroad. Don't get hung up on how you're going to live abroad. Just put out the intention of living abroad. If you want to get there, you'll get there. You may get it through your IELTS, or you may get in through a different source. But either way, you'll get in. Focus on what's on the other side of the problem. Never on the problem itself. Always on what's on the other side, which is the abundance of what you want.